Hello and welcome to YHTV's Flowing into Awareness with visionary and master intuitive Anatara. This is episode 19. I'm Christina Suzuma, your host of this program. Today our show is fatigue. Would you say you are tired? Maybe a little, huh? This Mercury in retrograde. Hello and welcome, Anatara.
Hi, good afternoon, Christina.
We're blaming everything on Mercury in retrograde these days.
It sounds like my neighborhood.
Yeah.
Mercury retrograde is just such a good fall guy.
Isn't it? Isn't it? Yes, yes.
But it's an intuitive sort of invitation to look at things in a slightly different way too, and I think it draws attention to the things that we want to change and the things that feel like they're stuck and or sticky or glommed up together, or the things that we're calling accidents and little trips and falls. They seem to increase in number when we're in this kind of a retrograde. And whether it's true or not, it doesn't matter, but it makes you look at it twice. It makes you look at everything from again, rather than just letting it pass.
Absolutely. It's like, oh, don't do that yet. Just don't do that yet. Just think about it. You have till the weekend. No. Oh my gosh!
I know that well.
So yes, and this is a very, very good subject right now, because I hear that very often. People are going, "I'm tired. I can't sleep. I'm exhausted." And yeah, I go do some yoga, breath work, reconnect, ground.
Exactly. Well, you know what brought it up for me, which is going to be very obvious, is that because of the extreme, I would say, and radical outpouring of energy that I've been using, since my son was injured, I started to see different kinds of fatigue and different kinds of tiredness in myself, and I wasn't falling into an extreme adrenal exhaustion as I might have in my past. It was, and I think that didn't happen simply because of how I have learned to look at myself and to look at the way I was using energy throughout the whole, this whole trial period, or period of trials. So I was noticing and paying very specific attention to being tired, being sleepy, and being fatigued. And I can talk a little bit about how I view those as different forms of tiredness. But mostly I was looking at the words I was using to describe particular sort of forms of being or places of being. As references for myself. And I realized that, we come upon each other and we greet each other and we say, or we talk on the phone and we say, "Hi, how are you doing?" And usually you'll hear, "Oh, I'm just so exhausted. I just I can't keep going. I don't know what to change." Or, the baby didn't sleep last night. The kids didn't sleep. There was a noise on the road. I was restless. I was hot. I was thinking. I was stressed. So many things take us to this place of feeling that there's no true downtime. And when you were just talking about, suggesting that one do some yoga, that sort of energy awareness, adding to the body's sort of rejuvenation and revitalization, and literally its defenses against the things that seem to make us tired, whether it's mind or body or whatever it is. It's so strong and it's so powerful and it's so important. So in the long run, I have found that as I have been able to do yoga, the days that I can do yoga when I'm feeling this tired, it brings me right through to a place of, I would say, perfect sort of homeostasis, perfect spiritual stasis, where the alignment within body and mind and soul are such that all of those things that seem to make me feel tired, or that I might assign my tiredness to, are far less important and far less dynamic. So that brings me to the point about the dynamic of being tired. We see it as being as it being very legitimate. It is legitimate to be tired if you've been working long hours. legitimate to be tired if you're not getting enough sleep, whatever that amount might be for yourself. It's legitimate if the world is in just such a crazy state that you can't possibly get the rest and the R&R in whatever form you like it, and the sleep, so that you don't feel tired. But the big question is, how do you relate to that sleep or lack of it? So then how do you relate to the way it feels inside your body? When you're sleepy and you feel like you'd just like to have a quick cup of tea or coffee to perk you up a little bit, that's one level of fatigue. When you're becoming more tired and your body just doesn't want to move, another level of fatigue or tiredness. When you are so deeply fatigued that your physical symptoms are shutting down and your mind can't function, and nothing seems to make sense except the actions that you're taking by rote as you continue every day, then that's a really important time to notice what you're telling yourself about being fatigued and being tired. I truly believe that the words and the descriptions that we feed ourselves about how we feel on a level of alertness and awakeness to sleepiness, tiredness, and fatigue, those are the real clues to what's going on inside us. And when I talk about what's going on inside us, I mean, what is it about yourself that is fatiguing you? Is it literally the physical output that you're exerting every day, or is it a story or a reflexive response to a job that's not perfect for you, a long commute, a relationship where the pieces aren't lining up for you? What's the source of your fatigue? What's the source of your tiredness? And as you replenish the supply of tiredness and fatigue by telling yourself that that's what you are, how can you get out of it? If you are constantly refurbishing the notion that you're tired and that you're fatigued, how can you change it? How can you, and not even change it, how can you be anything else? So in my little journey in the past couple months, watching myself in the flow and the ups and downs, and learning to identify the different kinds of tiredness that I have, and then watching how I describe that to myself, and then what I do with that information. That's what I would like to sort of um, share. When you tell yourself that you're sleepy, what do you do about it? When you tell yourself that you're getting tired, do you stop for a minute? Do you have a meditation or a yoga break? Do you put your feet on the grass? Do you have a cup of coffee to stimulate yourself out of it? Do you call a friend and just say, I can't do this anymore, I've had it? What do? Watch what you do, watch how you respond, and take another step more deeply into yourself to see what that's all about. What story are you telling yourself and the world about you? And what do you really need to alter, change, or revitalize so that you don't feel like that anymore?
That's wonderful, wonderful information, Anatara. I totally agree with you. Our words are so powerful. Our thoughts are so powerful. And yes, I have been in that situation as you, where it's like, wait a minute. Okay, I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted. Whoa, whoa, whoa. The more I say that, the more exhausted I'm becoming.
Mhm. And the more you expect it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And it's like, I do get a little irked when people go, oh, well, that hike will be so tiring. And it's like, but it will be so rejuvenating. Of course, the body, the muscles, the workout, the toxins are coming out of your body. Yes, I'm going to have a great sleep after this. Yes.
So that's a beautiful point about something very, very simple. If the first thing you tell yourself about a potential hike is that you're going to be tired, well, you've defeated yourself before you even started. Look at the hike and know I'm in my muscles, as you say, they may get tired. I may sleep really well afterwards. And isn't that something I want to give myself and allow myself to tell myself a different story about it?
Yes,
Different words,
absolutely.
different story, completely different outcome.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Anatara, for
You're welcome.
helping us become aware of our words to ourselves, which hopefully from that we will be aware of what we say to others as well.
Yeah, and one small thing to add to that. If someone says to you, I'm tired or I'm just exhausted, instead of letting them just tell you their story about it, ask them a few questions about it. Where does that really come from? How does that exhaustion feel in your body? Can you share with me how that feels to you? And how can you work with that so that it doesn't keep you exhausted?
Hmm.
I think if we asked each other that, I asked the children that, if we asked each other that, wow, we'd reframe how we look at it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Anatara, for this wonderful moment of flowing into awareness. And of course, we'd like to thank Segovia Smith and the Yoga Hub team for making this all possible for us. And to thank each and every one of you for joining us in this new platform of education and information. We're always grateful for your continuous support and look forward to hearing your feedback on how we can serve you better. We invite you to join us live on Tuesdays for Magical Medical Tour at 11:30 a.m. Pacific, 1:30 p.m. Eastern. Wednesdays for Trinity of Life at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, followed every other week with this show, Flowing into Awareness with Anatara. You can also contact Anatara by following her on Twitter at Anatara, and of course through her website, anatara.ca. And we look forward to your comments and suggestions. Please call us on 818-LET'S-TALK. 818-LET'S-TALK. Until next time, namaste. YHTV's Trinity of Life. Come join me, Christina Suzama, as I journey to find the many modalities that support individuals, from children to adults to elders, with topics ranging from health and wellness, meditation, and inspirational stories. I invite you to visit yogahub.tv every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern.